Charles W. Leadbeater, We Think, Mass Innovation, Not Mass Production. Dive into the transformative world of We Think, Mass Innovation, Not Mass Production by Charles W. Leadbeater, where the internet has become an essential platform for sharing and collaboration. The book delves into how the internet, with its unparalleled openness, presents both risks and opportunities in diverse fields such as technology, journalism, politics, and several other spheres of the economy. Discover how various We Think projects like Wikipedia, Linux, and open source movements have shaped innovation, transcending traditional hierarchical structures as people engage in voluntary collaboration to create and share ideas.
We Think. The Internet's Impact on Self-Definition and Collaboration. The Internet's impact extends beyond access to information, media, and networking, as it also brings unexpected intrusions and heightened monitoring. The web's unique openness offers both risk and opportunity. However, it has gone beyond a point where it only affects those who use it. The Internet now influences almost everything people do, with sharing being its most significant platform. This shift in self-definition alters the famous quote, "I think, therefore I am," to "We think, therefore we are." The result is projects such as Wikipedia, which demonstrate the possibilities and limitations of collaborative knowledge sharing. While prone to more errors than traditional encyclopedias, Wikipedia's voluntary contributors fix their mistakes at a faster rate. Despite its imperfections, it continues to grow exponentially, including entries on obscure topics. The web's extreme openness and capacity to connect anyone to virtually everyone else present endless possibilities for collaboration. Ultimately, the Internet's impact lies in its users' collective ability to share and combine their thoughts. We Think, Collaboration and the Future. We Think presents a balanced organizational recipe of participation, recognition, and collaboration, which has paved the way for alternative business models and unique creativity. We Think projects function like working cities. A diverse population allows more perspectives to emerge. Trust and respect provide a frame for interaction and collaboration. Market forces do not drive pure We Think projects, instead, it offers alternatives to products created by the market. We Think thrives on open-ended conversations and co-creation, redistributing ownership and leadership fluidly. Expect a clash of collaboration and traditional hierarchy, with results falling on a spectrum between We Think and traditionally hierarchical organizations. We Think, Collaborative Productivity. We Think is a book that explores the idea that sharing and mutuality can be an effective base for productive activity as private ownership. The book takes a trip back to the history of collaborative work, which started in the 1960s, during the counterculture era and the rise of communes. The author talks about Fred Moore, who explored the social impact of computers by creating organizations to address this issue. The book connects a few 20th-century thinkers such as Marshall McLuhan, Ivan Illich, Guy Debord, and E. F. Schumacher, all of whom called for increased citizen involvement in society to counter mass culture and shift towards dialogue and action. We Think highlights the success of social networking sites, blogs, and wikis, which let passive spectators become active producers, media sharing sites that allow individuals to share and enjoy media that was once only available through mass corporations or government venues. The book emphasizes that the most successful sites operate with a spirit of collaborative self-government, like the way traditional peasant groups governed the use of the commons. Communities often negotiate common areas without top-down adjudication, and shared use is often strengthening. Taking too many fish from a lake can deplete it, but taking ideas from a shared pool multiplies their power, rather than sapping it. The result is a bit like folk music, where people borrow musical structures from a shared tradition without concern for ownership. We Think revives the idea that sharing and mutuality can be as effective as private ownership. We Think and its impact on the economy and society. We Think, a movement based on sharing and collaboration, is transforming several areas of the economy, particularly in professions that deal with information. With the advent of the Internet, accessibility to information has become more widespread, speeding up the spread of knowledge and new ideas. WeThink has also contributed to the democratization of the market, as cyberstores lower overhead costs and the consumer's ability to search for any possible purchase creates countless market niches. Although WeThink won't move through all areas of the economy equally or at equal speed, it is already transforming the majority of information processing venues, which roughly amounts to 20% of the Western economy. However, it also involves many medium-impact enterprises, which still employ some major components specifically from the industrial age. WeThink will impact these sectors in surprising ways as they eventually incorporate digitized information. WeThink is not limited to the economy. It is also present in politics. Increased connectivity and communication have mixed effects, with some critics saying that it makes a crowded, noisy world even more so. The internet brings youth into the political process and has been used by protesters to reveal corruption and expose cover-ups. However, it has also been used by fundamentalist populist movements and terrorists to further their causes. It has not yet produced more reflective debate, as its champions hoped, as most people connect with like-minded cohorts. WeThink has enabled ultra-local politics, fostering deeper connections between neighbors and new possibilities for social networks. Individual identity is not swamped by continual online contact but rather negotiated, allowing for the creation of different personas and finding comfortable contacts. This has been evident among the youth who have grown up online and are adept at shifting their personas. However, concerns about the internet's impact on freedom are not unfounded. Although it enhances individual freedom by providing alternatives to mass media, it can also foster groupthink and lead to derivative thinking. It can also be used to track actions or expose secrets, turning against a free society. As Yochai Benkler argues in The Wealth of Networks, information, knowledge and culture are essential factors for human welfare. WeThink provides several benefits, especially in sharing scientific breakthroughs with the emerging world and providing knowledge and information that contribute to human welfare. A tug-of-war between traditional models and WeThink is emerging in several areas of the market, but the movement is ultimately here to stay.
As we reflect on WeThink, the internet undoubtedly stands at the forefront of revolutionizing our connected world. It fosters sharing, collaboration, and mass innovation while contributing to the democratization and accessibility of information. Nonetheless, it also presents challenges and risks by opening doors for surveillance, groupthink, and lack of privacy. Despite these drawbacks, WeThink's impact is undeniably vast, with projects ranging from alternative business models to advances in healthcare, communication, and democracy. While it may not blanket the entirety of the global economy, WeThink has transformed countless sectors, promoting a new era of innovation driven by participation, recognition, and collaboration.